So, can we congrats all together with Leica for the newborn? And it's a boy or it's a girl? No, guys, it's a Lumix. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thomas Love here from One Lens Only, and today we were waiting for it, or did we? We were waiting for the announcement of the new Leica SL3-s and all the events that they organized in the Leica stores to introduce properly this new camera, which is a workhorse, and we were waiting for it for a while because a couple years ago Lumix gave us this S5 Mark II-X, which is the best hybrid so far, worth every penny and with the best IBIS in the business, the best state, and the M-mount, so those beautiful glasses, either Leica or Lumix Leica certified, and now you can mount them on the Leica SL3-s because we only had the Leica SL3. There was the same camera with the high resolution version for photography dedicated to stills, while this one, the SL3-s, it's more of a hybrid. So for hybrid shooters nowadays, you know, if you are a professionist or a wedding photographer, they also ask you to get some video. So if you are a one-man band, you might need a hybrid shooting camera with the perfect glass and with the capabilities to shoot video 4K. This is up to 6K and beautiful stills. So if you are in that sector, this is the camera for you. But why should you buy that instead of the Lumix? Let's see together. So I have all the list here of the specs for the Leica SL3-s, and they say that, of course, the processor is the Maestro 4, so the buffer is infinite. It can manage properly the shooting, either RAW, JPEG, up to 30 frames per second, similarly to the Lumix S5 Mark II-X. So if you were using the electronic shutter, instead of capping at 9 frames per second, you could go for 30 frames per second. Same thing here with the Leica. And then they said this is super fast for the autofocus. Yes, the autofocus also in the Lumix was phase detect and contrast detect. So it's a combined phase detect and contrast. Perfect. It never let me down. I used it for a while. It never let me down. Of course, this is not Sony level, but we are almost there. So with that autofocus and with that stable, you don't really need a gimbal. So this is a great thing. And also you don't need a gimbal because they say that even if you have your camera and you shoot stills handheld, you can stack photos in order to get a high resolution, like a 48 or a 96 megapixel, coming from the combination of several shots stuck together. So this is great. The sensor is a CMOS BSI full frame, so this is not stacked. This is also why it's capping the limit for certain shooting, for certain kind of frames per second and resolution. So this is cut because this is not stacked. So I'm expecting, they didn't declare it so far in the specs, but I'm expecting a good crop in when you go with slow-mo because it's not stuck. But BSI, it's a great value of a sensor. Of course, this is not a global shutter, so you will have some jello effect when you're moving fast. And apart from that, they say they're using a CF Express kind of registration. This is great because it doesn't limit the speed. Now, my Lumix used to have 2 SD card UHS 2, but it also had the HDMI port, so you could record in RAW with an external monitor. And the same thing you can do here with the Leica, and you can rig it all. You can have your CF Express, the external monitor via the HDMI port if you really want to have a video recording session. So you can mount an external mic, you can mount an external monitor. Despite the display, the real display is very good. I never had the need for an external monitor on my Lumix, but if you are a pro, maybe you want to be all rigged up and present yourself with such a huge camera and accessory. And then it says it's hybrid, and so you can shoot up to 6K open gate. This is great because open gate, it allows you, similarly to the raw shooting for stills, it allows you to do cropping and reframing even in post, even for the videos. So 6K, it's a bit too much in my humble opinion, because with 4K you already need a fast processor, a fast computer to manage the color grading and all the post effects that you want to give it. 6K, it's a bit of a limit. I know there are other cameras out there that record up to 8K, and that's way too much and way not needed, but 6K with open gate, it might allow you for a recrop in post. So this is a great thing. And then, of course, they say the Leica effect, the sensation, the tactile pleasure when you have a Leica in your hands. I know one thing or two about it. I can only confirm this is going to be a great camera. The UI is the usual latest software release from Leica. We are used to it. So you have the fast menu even in the rear display, and it's so brilliantly organized. You won't get lost in the menu with this Leica. And then you have the tiltable screen, which is not a flippy screen. So this is one of the main differences compared to the Lumix. So follow me up on that, because this is one of the main differences. And then the other difference is that the Lumix had an internal fan, so unlimited recording thanks to this internal fan, because the camera, if it was going to overheat, then the fan would cool it down, while this one has the exact same design as the Leica SL3. It doesn't have an internal fan, but it has the Leica Content Credentials certification. Now, we were expecting it to have it in the Leica SL3. There was the one devoted more to photography, while they put it in the Leica SL3-S. I'm not sure if I would ever use it if I'm a hybrid shooter, but at least you have it. You have the latest technology for Leica, and also these content credentials to certify that you did not change anything via AI. This is your content you created with your creativity. So that is a great thing. I was expecting to see it on all the new camera releases, but one by one we will get there. So Leica SL3, it's the Leica alternative to the Lumix. There are just slight differences in cropping, in the handling, in the hardware. One has an internal fan, the other one doesn't have the flippy screen that we had in the Lumix. So it might not be a good choice if you want to do a talking head like that, or if you want to go around vlogging with your camera in your hand. But for video recording, you will be oh so pleased. So guys, if you can afford it, the price, I don't know if it's confirmed, it's 5,200 euros. If you can afford it, you'll be golden. So if you are a pro and you want to start upgrading your camera gear, this is one of the latest few camera releases without the AI in it. So keep that. It will never be outdated, because your creativity, your eye for the framing, for the composition will never be outdated with such a great tool combined with the Leica M-mount glasses. So let me know down here in the comment if you were waiting for it, if you are interested in getting it, if you're already setting down the deposit in order to be one of the first ones to have it in their hands. I didn't get it in my hands yet because I'm not on Leica's radar, so they don't hand it out for me to test and review, but I will. Stay tuned, because I know the Lumix also well because I had it, and so it would be super nice and super fair to compare with the Leica version of that camera. Just to be sure, we were expecting something in addition, something more than the Lumix released 2 years ago. It didn't happen. There are just slight differences to justify the Leica red dot and the Leica price tag, but I guess this will not disappoint anyone. So with that, I hope you got some value out of this video. If you did, please remember to like it, share it on your social media, subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the reviews to come, and I guess I will see you later. Thank you. Bye-bye.